The Right Honourable Prime Minister of Canada. Dear Stephen, I hope you won't find it presumptuous of me addressing you with such informality. But ever since that day in Rollo, Saskatchewan, when you came to shoot your part in an episode of Corner Gas, I felt a certain, collegial empathy with you. I have to say you were pretty good. You knew your lines, you hit your marks, you joked with the extras, you didn't take yourself too seriously. I have a great picture taken of us. You're smiling, I'm smiling, everybody in the picture is smiling. We're all having a great time. A bunch of actors and the Prime Minister of Canada relaxing after having done a little cultural work making some Canadian television. We were comrades in arms, treating each other with affectionate respect. So you can imagine my shock, disappointment, and pain that your boot in my privates delivered when you chose to characterize me and my kind as some kind of whining freeloaders on the public purse, contributing nothing to this society or nothing that was of any interest or value to ordinary Canadians. Now, I'm not sure who you mean by ordinary Canadians, but I assume they can't be any of the 1.5 million Canadians that watch Corner Gas every week. Because these people tell me, no, I haven't spoken to each one of them individually. But I have spoken to thousands and thousands of them over the years, and they tell me that they find tremendous resonance in the show. 2 weeks ago, at the wrap-up of the final season of Corner Gas, we had an open house at the Soundstage in Regina. From early morning into the evening, fans by the thousands streamed through the facility. I was there to thank people for their support of Corner Gas and for their support of Canadian culture in general. But they wouldn't let me. They didn't want anything from me. They wanted to give me something. And by me, they meant the show and everybody who had worked on the show. So, you'd be included in this gift too, Stephen. First, they wanted to share the wonderful laughs and times they and their families had watching Corner Gas. Then they wanted to say how grief-stricken they were that we weren't going to be making any new episodes. And finally, they wanted to say how grateful they were for putting Saskatchewan on the map. Now let me translate that for you, Stephen, for fear you dismiss it as a bunch of elitists preoccupied by a niche issue. What they were really saying was, thank you for making me, a Canadian living in Saskatchewan, visible to myself, to the rest of the country, and by extension to the world. And I would posit that is essentially the experience of all Canadians who enjoy Corner Gas. That's what a culture does for a people. It makes them visible. It makes them visible to themselves, to each other, and to the rest of the world in cultural terms, in imaginative terms. And in this country, that is an experience that is all too rare. Here we have to make do with the odd glimpses of ourselves in an avalanche of cultural product from everywhere else but Canada. One last point, Stephen. It's all the same thing. It's all Canadian culture. From the rich galas to the green ball cap perched on an angle on Oscar Leroy's head. It's all Canadian culture. This country is blessed with talented, dedicated people struggling to make a contribution. Your remarks only make that struggle harder. And to quote Oscar and my late father, that's just stupid. So, from one jackass to another, best wishes, Eric Peterson, a.k.a. Oscar.